the mission to keep as many men on as many guns for as long as possible. We called him Doc. Welcome to Combat Vet Vision. And now your host, Aaron Chief Seabird.
Hey, how's everybody doing? Hey, welcome again to another show of Combat Vet Vision. This is a show where I either get to give my opinion, my life experience, or I bring other vets on. I bring other sponsors, supporters, volunteers, other people that are involved in the combat veteran or veteran community and helping some guys out. And I've had Mike Amato on before. He's on again for another session of Brotherhood of Warriors, and why that's important. And we're going to talk specifically about battle buddies today and all the cool things that are involved in that. And we'll go from there. We'll see how that works. So, hey, Mike, thanks for being on. United States Army vet, good buddy of mine.
What's up, man?
We've been down a lot of paths together. I've had to deal with a lot of different things together. Personal
Not mad
issues,
at each other enough.
Yeah. This too. Yeah,
man. We've been through the fire, man, and stood in each other's storm, man. So
yeah. So we're going to talk about, this was actually Mike's idea to kind of do this segment, and I thought it was kind of cool. And it's not just him. He said, hey, throw some other guys on here to talk about these issues too. And so we'll break that down into some other guys in the future. But this is our only second show, so we're just going down this path. From time to time, we'll throw the Brotherhood of Warriors up on here and talk about some issues and why the Brotherhood is so important and what it means. And today we're getting into the battle buddy piece. And as I talk about me and Mike knowing each other, Mike's been my battle buddy for a lot of different things. And when we talk about battle buddies, it's not just you think you might be good with just one battle buddy, but that's not the case, because I don't think we are there for each other 24/7 like we could be, or that we should be, but we can't be, because life takes a lot of precedence. So it's important to have a lot of battle buddies, maybe other guys that you trust in certain subject matter to go to, because Mike doesn't always go to me with everything. A lot of guys talk to other people, and talking about battle buddies. I mean, everybody's battle buddy. We're going to talk a lot about Warrior Built, PTSD Foundation, other organizations that we've been part of. Operation Silver Star has been part of our lives. That's what brought me and Mike together to begin with. There's just so many. United States Army, United States Navy, there's so many aspects to that. But yeah, it's
it's really about like what little tidbit that you can hand off to your brother that makes you a battle buddy to me. Like you said, I don't always call you because you don't have all the damn answers. Sometimes I'll actually call you and you'll say, well, I think this. And then I'm like, no, you're dumb, or vice versa. And it's always good to take that extra knowledge, because it's kind of like dipping into a computer and asking Google for how to survive life, and different situations call for different answers, and having multiple buddies to call upon, especially in dark moments. I recently, just before getting here live with you, was doing a PTSD thing for the VA for my personal health. And they were asking me about, do you have anybody to call upon? And I said, I'm like Robin Williams, but without the one pulling the trigger. Okay. I said, I have a million people I can call. There's never a moment where I don't have someone. There's never a moment where I actually feel alone. I'm alone right now in this house, but I'm not alone. I've got my brother Chief. I've got Nick Ham. I mean, I've got so many. I can go down the list, and some are vets and some are not. It's hard for some other vets to have civilian friends and to articulate what's going on within themselves to them, so they lean towards other veterans. That's what made Warrior such a godsend for me.
Yeah, and real quick, Mike, let me just throw this out there. Warrior Built has one civilian there that's absolutely everybody's go-to guy. I mean, this is, Alan Chadwick. I throw his name out there. You talk about a battle buddy that didn't even go to combat. He's not a military guy. He's a civilian
Yeah.
that runs the shop, that does this really cool stuff, and everybody knows Alan Chadwick. Everybody goes to him, even more than
And he
me.
hates it. He hates it some days. I guarantee you, because I called him and asked him for advice. And you know what he did? He called me back at 6 a.m. like I was going to answer the damn phone call. He did that purposely because he knows I'm smart enough to figure that shit out. I mean, it doesn't really necessarily matter that you're a veteran to be a battle buddy to your battle. If that's a veteran and he's your friend, you can be there for him. You don't have to hold his hand through life. Matter of fact, don't you dare. Don't you ever do that. He needs to be held accountable for his problems. There's been times where Chief has called me out and said, you need to pay attention and you need to see what you've done. Now that's pointing the finger, but he said, look, man, today is not tomorrow. We can get through this, and we got you. We'll help you through this, and I vice versa have done that to him. And it's all about being there to give a hand up, never a handout. Once you start giving handouts, man, you might as well call yourself a loose dog that just smiles at you for food, or a stupid cat, that comes up and is only nice to you for that little moment to get what they want, and then they bite your ass. Because this world is a cruel world. We need to stop thinking that we're not in a cruel society. We are, man. It's just we're nicer than the other society next to us. We're trying, and we're doing this thing that's called America, that is this great experiment that we are currently living in. And it's us as veterans to sit there and learn ourselves so that we can push the civilian population and everybody as one. I mean, really being a battle crosses all borders and all lines of all races and religions. It's just being a fucking genuine
Yeah,
good person.
yeah, that's what I wanted to bring up. Like, as much as we're talking about combat vets and stuff and veterans, a battle buddy really translates into people really coming together and being a genuine human being to another person that really needs a genuine human being, and moving forward in a positive direction with that. And, you know, most people did not get where they're at by themselves. Matter of fact, no one did. We all had parents that were our battle buddy. They tried to show you the way. They tried to give you some guidance. And maybe they didn't. Maybe they weren't there for anything. But somebody up your chain of command of life gave you a break. Either bought you a car, helped you out with some food, uh, pushed you out and gave you a broom and some money, a job, and created an avenue where you could take control of your life somewhere, somehow, and navigate that the best that you can. Um, so when we talk about this battle buddy thing, just kind of see how that relates to you in life. And
Yeah.
I think that's
And
super important.
being so the difference between being a buddy and a friend compared to a battle buddy is this: you're willing to stand in their storm. Okay, I want that to be clear to anybody who's looking and saying they want to help, because it's a lot of vets, they go through phases where they end up saying, man, I want to help other vets, I want to be there, I want to make this organization, and I want to do all these things. That's awesome, man, that you have that energy. How long is it going to last, you holding the burden of fellow veterans on your chest? That's a shit ton of crosses to bear. Just to simplify it, it's a lot of stress. I feel for any mental health person that deals with veterans, because, man, I just got done talking about blown up little children overseas and inhaling their blood. I mean, so are you willing to stand in my storm? Are you willing to walk down the meat department with me and me say that I'm staring at a bunch of little kids blown up? And you're like, holy shit, dude, that's a New York steak. You know, that a normal civilian's going to have an issue with. They're not going to be able to truly understand that, because they didn't go to war. But then there's those civilians, right? Just to give credit to the civilian community of the people like Alan Chadwick and who have had their own hell that they've lived in. And I'm friends, and I help civilians as well with their PTSD. And they help me. See, it's a constant trade off, and that's what a beautiful being a battle is. You're standing in that storm tonight with me. You're helping me hold that umbrella up so I get at least a small moment without water on me, or another lightning bolt to blow up next to me. You're helping me. And that right there, as soon as it gets as dark as it can get, the light shows again. And then that gives that person that opportunity to strive forward. And that's what a battle is. You're really at war with that person. You're side by side. And that's why veterans are so diehard, because they have been in situations where it was life and death. And they looked over to the left and the right, and they were like, holy shit, you know? And it got tough, And I mean, that's why we always have to keep our friends near us. You know what I mean? We have to represent what matters. Okay. I got my homie Grogu right here, and he can pick shit up and throw it. So I'm good. You know what I mean? He's got my back. So it's that's what matters, man. We have to, as a people, we have to work together, and we have to be more understanding, but not this weenie simplicity of babying and watering down it. I should be able to my friends and my family, express it. I shouldn't have to just keep it as some caged little beast that shows up when I drink too much liquor, and then I'm talking to this bastard going, what the fuck, man? It's just, it ain't right. We need to move forward, man. And that's the beauty of the brotherhood. That's the beauty of being in battle with somebody.
Yeah, I'm even, I even think of this, this platform here is Combat Vet Vision. It gives us a lot of opportunities to come on and talk to each other, tell your story, maybe get something out that maybe you wouldn't do on a normal basis. I know you took time out of your day, Mike, to come on this. I know you've been working hard lately, but for a while there, you weren't working very hard, and you were stuck in a conundrum of like really, really hurting. And you
Yeah.
had to reach out. You had to reach out and get some help during that time before you finally kind of got your gears going for yourself, and you're working for yourself now as a handyman, doing some really cool stuff out in Virginia, correct?
No, I'm
That's where
in
you're at,
East Tennessee.
which is
I
close.
moved. Yes,
East
I
Tennessee.
used to live in Southwest Virginia, and then I bought a house here in Mount Carmel, Tennessee, where me and Grogu moved in, and now we're living quite happy. We're living in the suburbs, and I was working in a glass factory. Quit that job to be there for my lady and to help out more with my daughter. And then money got tight, obviously, because I wasn't working and she wasn't working. So I got in a deeper depression because she left me and took my kid, and now I'm fighting that in court. And I didn't know what to do. And at the same time, I felt in my heart that just am sick and tired of working for people not getting raises, not getting what I feel like I'm owed for my time. I mean, you spend that hour, you get paid what, an hour? Now I'm not in a perfect position, but I own my future. And that's how I feel, because as I said to the VA person I was speaking to, the therapist, I said that you know, I'm in a legacy phase. I'm looking for a legacy. I want my headstone, and I want the people to speak my name for many generations. That he's a crazy son of a bitch that was on a podcast with Chief, and he kept petting Grogu on top of his head. Like, hey, don't worry, we'll cuddle tonight, Grogu. But it's we have to never retreat, man. We can never run. And I felt like running. I reached out. I was speaking some horrible shit. Shouldn't have been saying it. And that person called me out on it. And fucking it ain't who and what I'm known for. So it was a surprise to them as well to even see me in that position, because from social media and from phone calls, I mean, everybody was like, holy shit, he's living the golden boy life. But you can, your whole world can fall apart real quick, and then once again you're starting from scratch. And that's where I'm at. But I'm going to own my shit. I'm going to own everything around me.
Yeah, and that's another thing, listening to you, you ended up talking to somebody, and somebody had to say, hey, Mike, you need to change your direction, because sometimes we have some very serious conversations with our battle buddies. And these are conversations that you normally can't have with just anybody. This is some very intense moments, and no one's going to understand how why you're petting Grogu's head. Really, they're
Yeah,
going to be
don't
like,
trip.
is Mike really that crazy? the answer
I
might be
am.
yes.
Yes.
The answer might be yes, but as long as we're able to move forward in some direction that counts, it gives us, that gives us some purpose, and that sometimes we need to be talked into a better place, and sometimes we
Sometimes you
got to go
need
to
to
hell. We
just,
got to go to hell. We got to go to hell to get there.
yeah, I mean, there's not a single vet that's not living in hell in their own mind that I know of, and comedy is my release. I love dark humor. I could talk about some of the worst things in the fucking world and laugh my ass off, but that's because in the same instance of all the great things a human can do and is capable of, any man who's been to war knows exactly what he's capable of, and man, you gotta find your way through it. With it, we were all born in this world, and we all have to try to make it to the best of our ability. And it's great to have battles that'll fucking jump in the fire with me instantly. They're like, "Man, you getting burned? I got you," and then they fucking grab me, straight up, just homie, you're gonna be all right. And that's what's fucking awesome. Um, there's no matter how big and strong you are, you're gonna have weak moments in your life. And just like it takes a village to raise a fucking child, man, it takes a whole city to raise a veteran. Keep him going. That's why the Warrior Built Foundation, the name of Warrior Built, Warrior Built. You got to turn those wrenches, man, and tighten those bolts, man, on that motor and that Warrior. You got to keep him running clean. And that's why we do what we do. And that's why I made this company, because I said, man, there's so many people right now, I mean, that can't get help, can't for the littlest of things. So I jumped on it, and now I've got nothing but battle buddies coming in that have been business owners, may not have done the same business, but been business owners. I've had nothing but vets show me how to handle banking, what tools I need, this and that to move to the next stage. Like I have a crappy old truck, and it was falling apart. And my battle Mike, who you've met, Michael Rowan, he turned around and said, "Man, I got you, bud. Don't trip." He's the master mechanic, showed up, and he said, "I'm going to show you how to fix this." And one by one, man, we figured it out, got it, and now she runs clean. She runs like I just bought it. And she's got rust all over her. And that's the greatest thing about it, is knowing that you can keep yourself running. Because, man, like I said, there's no retreat. I mean, you can be a person that says you're alone and you have no help in life, and nobody gives a shit, and I'm this and I'm that. All you're doing is fucking self-loathing. You need to look into the mirror. You need to fucking look around your circle after you look in the mirror, and you need to realize that none of those assholes deserve to be there because they haven't stepped in the fire to help you yet. They need to step in there and they need to be there for you. I mean, they talk about 22 veterans a day. Well, let me tell you, man, we were on a mission to stop that shit by reminding people that they can step in, they can help that battle. There is somewhere they can go. There is something that can help them. That this pain and this feeling and this storm that you're in, let me hold that umbrella for you, or let me get you in my car and let's drive a little faster than you're used to. Let me take you on this race and let me show you what you're capable of. You say you can't be a leader. I bet you can lead an army. And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, Mike. When I think about two guys that truly need battle buddies, they need direction, they need a lot of things. I I know, a lot of times substance abuse plays a huge part in
Yeah,
in that
and
step
I've been
to
victim to that.
n- needing that battle buddy. But when you think about it, you know, you can need a battle buddy when you're drunk, but you also need to be sober when you reiterate what's going on with that. So just your mindset on some of that.
Yeah, it's with substances, I have used them in the past. I have used marijuana to help me with my PTSD, and I've used alcohol. Do I use any of them now? No. Um, do I have beer in my fridge? Yes. Um, Key thing is you've got to learn that you're hiding when you're using those things. Okay, you're masking them. You're not fixing them. Whether it's PTSD, depression, or loneliness, or fuck, doesn't matter, dude. Take whatever your problem is, and Go ahead, man. Kill that bottle tonight. See where it gets you in the morning. I'm sick of waking up hungover, and I don't drink nowhere near like I used to. I had a little depression kick, and I went and I reached for it, and I beat myself up afterwards for doing that because I felt like I wasted time, and yeah, sure, going out and drinking with your friends is cool, and getting a little drunk here and there is all right. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And but you really got to realize that you could be just letting more demons take you. And that dog on that leash, whatever that problem may be, is that dog on that leash will get bigger and stronger the more things you use, and how fast do you really want to live? What is your legacy? Do you want your legacy to be he drowned himself? Do you want your legacy to be he burnt his lungs out? Do you want it to be that you have sores all over your face because meth made you feel like fucking Superman? Grogu says no to drugs. Okay, so you you've got to look in the mirror, man. You got to face your shit. You got to face yourself. You can have me, Chief. You can have Warrior Belt. You can have all fucking VA. You can have everybody, man. Show up and say this is what you need to do. But if you're not willing to accept what your battle has to say and take that into reality in your situation and use that as a tool, you're gonna be stuck in the same place. Then you might as well just say you're running back into the fucking womb. You're running into hiding, and that's all you are. And then that's going to be your stone. Do you really not want to be remembered? Do you not want to be somebody that has gone through hell and be known for that he's done it? Because I've had grown ass men say, I don't know how the fuck you're able to even breathe today with the things you've been through, Mike. And I say, man, because there's no fucking retreat. I stand alone in my shit, but I'm really never alone.
Yeah, you know what? Ultimately, I've always said, I can't help anybody that doesn't want to help themselves. And I have a bunch of guys that I've talked to that need help at different levels. They need maybe a helping hand, a direction. And I don't always have the right direction for everybody, but I try to collect those resources that are super important. And Mike, you've been on events, you've been to organizations, you've gone places, you've done things, you know what works for you. And you have certain resources that you can tag up and be like, hey, but you don't want to just give that to a guy that's not ready for that resource or not, and we've talked about this
Yeah,
many times, but
yeah.
once that you want to trust that you're going to help somebody out that wants that help, but you're also going to trust that that help will be there for that person. And it's a struggle sometimes to manage some of that. But as much, as many as there are guys that need help, there's not a lot of guys asking for help.
A lot of guys are stubborn, man. In
Yeah.
certain aspects, I'm real stubborn. And that's where me and you have ever always argued and fought. Where we've sat on the phone once, I think it was 3 hours, and it was nothing but you raging on me, man. You this, you that, you need to fucking this and that. And then, years later, you were like, I was stupid for that. And all I was saying is that I believe that you can be moving so much faster, right? And that's what it was about. The base of that argument was that. You could be mentally moving faster. You could be mentally handling more. I fucking know you're capable of it. And you're over here moving these little inches and you're trying to play that in front of us like you've ran a marathon. And I'm like, dude, I wish you could fucking be in my head. I wish you could handle what's going on. And I mean, it's hard for a lot of guys. And then a lot of guys, man, you offer all these things and really they're just looking for a handout. And that's the shameful thing. You know, you you're wanting a free thing because I'm willing to help you. I don't get the time back I get from helping you. So I'm real good at cutting people off. I think, the number one supporter of telling people to walk out of the building and worry about if they're not going to fucking be moving forward. Um, and trust me, everybody that's ranked in that place over me has told me to shut up. But I am more than willing to say, nah, man, you don't fucking deserve that. You're a fuck up. You need to fucking realize yourself. And that's because I've been there. I mean, and brothers got to check each other. We got to stand with each other. Just like Grogu sleeps with me at night. You know what I'm saying? I know he's little and he's got the little ears, and I love him. And he keeps me warm at night. It's a great bonding. having a battle here with me. I would have Chief, but two fluffy people hanging out with each other, cuddling is just, for one, looks weird. Two, I don't think society is ready for all that shit, But
Yeah, and this these are the conversations that we have sometimes that are absolutely amazing. But some people would be offended by them, and good on you for being offended. You know,
yeah, Grogu
if
agrees.
if you're offended from, I'm one of these guys that say, hey, if I'm getting naked in my house and you're looking through my window and you call me up and you say you're offended, I'm going to tell you to stop looking through my window.
Yeah, but you could have the fucking courtesy to not have your man titties hanging out and close the goddamn blind. See, there's a give and
You
take.
can't. You can't.
Okay, Grogu
In
is
the
not naked right now, Chief. We need
yeah
him not be naked. Listen to Grogu.
in the filtered world,
Okay.
we're not really allowed to say that, Mike.
Oh,
I'm
well,
just
my
saying.
bad. Oh, well,
No, just but
see, I don't
no.
know the
I'm just
filtered
saying. This
world.
is
Ask anybody who fucking knows me. You take me out, I'm probably going to say some shit and have everybody at the bar looking at you
good on you.
going, who's that fucking guy? I mean, this is the guy that even Chief didn't believe the stories I would tell him. He thought I was selling my pee by the gallon once. I wasn't selling it. Trust me, it wasn't clean urine.
Dude, there is some strange stories
Strange
with
shit,
Mike,
yeah.
man.
It
You'd
gets
be
weirder
like,
than Grogu
really?
sitting on my lap, But I mean,
Oh man.
that's
I
another
even
part.
I almost forgot that, Mike. It's funny. You bring up stuff, man, and you just have to
Yeah,
laugh when you hear your buddies talk about some stuff that is
hell
true,
yeah.
and you're like, you couldn't tell the story to somebody, and they'd be like, yeah, right.
Yeah, what did you do? I peed all the time in a gallon container and put it in a freezer. What the fuck? I made $35 a gallon on my pee. You're fucking stupid. You flush it.
That's way better than gas too. Gas is
Yeah, man.
still more
Yeah, and that's
with pee.
just to make that story quick. That was just a medical company that makes stuff that uses urine as testing. They need urine. Has to be because of certain rules through the federal government. Has to be real urine. So they need people to donate, and they pay for your donation. That's why that happened. It's a real thing. It wasn't made
Yeah.
up. Fucking it was nasty to have a deep freezer smell like pee all the time when you opened it up. You're like, holy fuck, this is a month's worth of urine. But dude, I just made $380 from piss. This is awesome. I'm gonna go buy another case of beer. I used to call it beer money, dude. I was like, fuck it, man. This is fucking beer money right here. And like, I bought you. I think I bought you. Yeah, I bought you at the casino. I bought you a meal once, man, with my pee money, and you didn't even know.
Yeah.
That's some dirty cash right there, boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta, man.
That's
You
it. That's
gotta
that
know.
battle. That's that battle buddy stuff. That when you
Yeah.
have these stories, man, you have these stories, and you know,
It's not always a storm. It's not always a storm you're standing in with your battle. It might actually
no,
just be
it's
like
comedy,
kicking it in
craziness.
Ensenada, saying some crazy shit to each other, or just hanging out at the casino, fucking having a beer or two, talking shit, looking at the
Under the
bartender's butt.
stars.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to have a Brokeback Mountain experience, I'll put Grogu aside. You can come on over. But he said under the fucking stars. That's great.
I'm talking about like there's a lot of that in Baja, Mid 400, Vegas to Reno, all these different races and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, the
I'm just
races.
kind of
Hey,
throwing some in the mix.
hey, no, that's true. And no, you know what, man? Like
Road trip.
road tripping, yeah, and that's when you do get close because you really do fall asleep. You wake up with your homie's fucking head on your shoulder, passed out. Like Wesley, man. Wesley fell asleep. He had his head on my shoulder, and I just fucking petted his head, and he didn't even fucking realize it. I was like, "Don't worry, honey. You're all right. You're safe." And it's funny. Like Nick Ham, I remember right before the race, he said, "What the fuck, man, is wrong with like the Army guys and Navy guys talking about fucking gay shit, this and that?" And I was like, "Nick, Like, I guess you've never been in a foxhole. You want to come, join mine? Show you what's up. And he just fucking like, touch me and I'll punch you. Fucking first thing he said. We will fucking fight in here right now, Mike. I was like, all right, but I already did it in my dreams, Nick. So you can go ahead and run. Fucking, you gotta laugh, man. Life's too short to just talk about depression, just to be depressed. Just pay attention to this storm. I mean, why? I'm pretty fucking sure there's a shit ton of sailors out there that'll say a storm. Fuck, that's when we have fun, when this ship goes side to side and we're smacking in the wall. They're like, that's their race. You know what I mean? And same thing with a Marine. He's jumping in or landing in somewhere off that fucking helicopter, and he's going up that side of the mountain, and he's staring at all the fucking people that want him dead, and he's giggling in his fucking mind. He's like, they don't realize they're outnumbered. You know what I mean? And same thing with the Army, man. I mean, Air Force, Space Force. I don't know, whatever they do with aliens, it's all secret. You know what I mean? But we'll hear it one day. I can't wait to have you fuckers tell me where Grogu came from. You know what I mean? I want to
I knew you were gonna find.
like,
I knew you
where
were gonna find a segue to bring Grogu into the conversation right there. That was funny.
He's the fucking
That's perfect.
homie, dude. I love Grogu. Like, he picked that fucking rhino thing up and like moved it out of the way. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I wish I had him all
Yeah.
the time. It's
Yeah.
you can't, man. You can't sit there and let life beat you down without smiling while you're getting your ass beat. If you got to embrace the suck, man. And that's the hardest part, is to maintain that emotion. 3.5 weeks ago, I was depressed. 3.5 weeks ago, I wasn't thinking right. And it took work. It took staying busy, calling on my battles, them telling me to shut the fuck up. Literally. I'm not the guy that you call and always sweet talks you. I'm the guy that'll fucking tell you how it is. Chief will know this as a fact. I looked right at him once and said, "You're a fucking idiot." And he's like, "Man, I'm coming to you for help." I'm like, "Well, you're fucking stupid. That's kind of why you're coming to me." And so we moved on, and we grabbed our shit and we carried that shit through, and that's the beauty of being a battle and being a brother in this brotherhood of ours, and this carrying through, because now no longer in this storm of your issues and your problem is it such a big deal, because you get those little moments where we can laugh our asses off and we can get serious, and then laugh our asses off again, or talk about that near death experience, which Chief has said about that mortar. I know that mortar plays off in his head for the rest of his fucking life. And he's seen and done more therapy than I've ever been willing to. Trust me, I'm the stubborn one. You know, um, and yet it's still there. With me, that VBIT and all those children, it's still there. I've got children of my own. So I look at them and I see those other kids sometimes. And we could let that own us, or we can kill it with our brothers together.
Yeah, good stuff, Mike. Hey, before we finish up the show, man, you got any final thoughts? Anything you want to put out there? And then, if somebody wants to get a hold of Mike, they can do it through me, or whatever you want to put out there, Mike.
Uh, yeah, you guys can hit me up on my messenger on Facebook. Look me up, Michael Amato. I don't normally give out my number because I have it as my business line currently. Um, but yeah, get a hold of Chief if you want to shoot the shit, or need somebody to talk to. Man, I'm there for you when I can. You like Chief said, life is serious. It's hard, and we can't always be there for each other, but we try our best. Play this a million times if it makes you laugh. I mean, 40 minutes I've been holding this fucker, and just look in the mirror before you ever look at anybody else. See yourself first before you ask for help. Know yourself, because that'll make you be able to move faster. If you don't know yourself, you won't know what the fuck you're doing, and then you're just a puppet. So yeah, hit me up if you need me.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, this is a segment, Brotherhood of Warriors, and why it's important. And this is the battle buddy segment that Mike's done with me. And, to be a battle buddy, Mike put it really well. He said, be an authentic human being for another authentic human being. But until next time, hey, this is Aaron Siebert. Lucky to be alive after being hit with that mortar round. I'm thinking about it from time to time, and it pops up, hits me in the face sometimes when an explosion pops or balloon pops, something crazy. But I wouldn't have it any other way. Until next time, we'll talk. Strength and honor. Out.